Welcome to Real Talk, with discussions on the latest news in the ever-changing real estate market. Here are your hosts, Joe and Keara.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Joe, with Keller Williams.
Keara with RCG Mortgage.
We are back. We have a bunch of exciting news we want to share with you. So we're going to start off with some new listings we have. Then we're going to go back to Keara. Have some information I want to share with everybody as far as if you own a pet. And we're going to discuss different rates and
Cost savings.
So right now I have a few new listings I want to go over. The first listing, we have an open house this Saturday on. It's 137 Arden Boulevard in West Hempstead. We listed this for $649,000. The house is honestly in mint condition. You don't need to do anything with this house. It's got a one-car detached garage, corner property, 3 bedrooms, full finished basement with a walkout. The backyard is honestly, to me, a big selling point on this house. It's a corner house, but it's totally private. Uh-huh. So there's a bunch of very high trees in there. And we're doing an open house this Saturday, the 24th, from 12 to 3. We have a bartender there. We're going to have some music going on in the backyard. So I'm inviting everybody down. Again, it's 137 Arden Boulevard in West Hempstead. And the second listing I wanted to touch on is a new listing as well. This is a really cute starter house. It's 160 Houston Street in Lindenhurst. And we have it listed for $499,000, $500,000. It's
Price.
3 bedrooms, full basement. Actually, this is a corner property as well. We're doing an open house in 2 weeks on this one. But this is the perfect house if you're looking to start a family in, get going, first house. This one you should definitely check out. Again, it's 160 Houston Street in Lindenhurst. We have 2 other listings I have as well from the team. We have the one in Jamaica in Rosedale. It's 240-19 Caney Road. It's listed for $599,000. This house is in Rosedale. Another house, it's priced right. So if you're looking to buy a house, needs a little bit of work, the house is a little older, that's why it's listed for the $600,000. Okay. Take a look at this house. And that house is listed with Guy Alberga from my team. Mm-hmm. And the 4th listing we have is the listing, which is 192 Madison Street in Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn. It's listed for $2 million. This house is with Bob Garcia from my team. It's being used right now as an Airbnb. Right. She rents it out every day. She makes great money on this house. But if you're looking to move in to a house, it's a duplex. So you have tons of room in there. Mm-hmm. And if you're looking for a business as far as an Airbnb, this honestly is the best bet. I've seen what's on the market right now. Right. Price-wise, for $2 million for a duplex in Bed-Stuy, need to check it out. Again, it's 192 Madison Street in Bed-Stuy.
And location to Manhattan is good, so.
Yep, 10 minutes away.
Check it out.
So we're going to discuss now some credit. And
some credit tips?
Yep, we're going to put that onto you.
So I just wanted to briefly discuss, when you have a credit card bill that's due, a lot of people always ask us, how do we increase my credit score? How do I have the best credit? So something to remember is you have your payment due date, which is when your minimum payment is due. Of course, you should always make sure you're paying your bills on time. But then there's also something called a statement date. So that statement date is more important because of the fact that on the statement date, that's when your credit card company is reporting to the bureaus. So on your statement date, you want to make sure that your total balance is at 10% utilization of your maximum limit. That will allow you to be in the best possible scenario for when everything's being reported to the bureaus. So again, on your statement due date, you want to make sure that you're at 10% utilization of your total maximum credit card limit. That's going to help you get to a higher credit score and help you continuously improve that credit. So look out for your statement date, and then of course always make sure to keep paying your credit card bill on time.
Awesome. So what I like to do now is make a couple of announcements for the Librandi team, which I think are pretty big. First announcement is the Librandi team signed LJ Mazzilli to join the team. LJ, if you know the name Mazzilli, if you're a baseball fan, Lee Mazzilli's dad played for the Mets, for the Yankees, was coach of the Yankees. I was actually my all-time favorite baseball player when I was a kid growing up. LJ was drafted by the Mets. He actually plays for the Long Island Ducks right now. and he's joining the team as a real estate agent, and he's joining my team, and it's a great addition. The second announcement I want to make is I also signed Mike Alt. Mike played for the Chicago Cubs, White Sox, Texas Rangers. He's actually the only baseball player in history to actually get a hit for both teams in the same day, I believe. So he got traded from the Cubs to the White Sox.
Wow.
Mike's going to be a great addition to the team as well. So we have 2 professional baseball players that are joining my team. It's a very big announcement. We're looking to expand and take over New York with this. I have more baseball players hopefully coming in soon.
Your clientele reach is going to be big.
Yes, that's the idea behind this. They are both great guys.
Good networks.
Great networks, huge networks with amazing personalities, and I think they're going to do very well in this industry. So it's a really big announcement. We got LJ Mazzilli and Mike Alt joining the team. So looking forward, and they're going to be on the show shortly.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. And we're back. Hopefully you guys took a look at those 2 brand new listings I have and you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you want to come see it, give me a call at 631-236-9012.
All right, Joe. So I want to bring something up that a lot of buyers have some concerns on when it comes to the co-op space. So a lot of buyers, they might have a dog, they might have a cat, whatever animal, maybe it's a hamster, I don't know.
Elephant.
If they have a pet, a lot of co-op boards are known to be strict with the type of animals that they allow to be coming into these units if you're making a purchase.
Right.
Give us some details. If you had a buyer, they had a dog, what would you do if they were going to purchase a co-op?
So I have been doing animal rescue for 15 years now. And I got involved with animal rescue a long time ago. And one of the reasons why I got involved with real estate was because I have a pit bull. And it's very hard when you have a dog to find a place to live. It's almost impossible when you have a pit bull.
Right.
And my dog is a fully trained service animal. Did over 1.5 years of training with my dog. Amazing dog, Brandy. Shout out to Brandy LaBrandy. And I didn't name her, that was her name.
I don't know about that.
I swear to God, I'll show it to you. I walked in and on the cage was Brandy, Brandi. And I'm like, Brandy LaBrandy? That's my dog.
Done deal.
Done. So there's a few ways around this if you have a pet and you want to get into a place. Now, the best way is to get a letter from a doctor saying that this is an emotional support animal and that you need the dog. At that point, no place can deny you. So that's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is there's a ton of places online that you could pay $150, $200 for, and they give you a vest and they say your dog's a support animal. and they'll make you up a letter.
Okay.
But the best way to do it is if you have a letter from your doctor.
Is there a specific certificate or like
Well,
they need documentation-wise?
No, as far as for the doctor goes, all you need is a letter from the doctor.
Okay.
And I actually have a website. It's called thepetrealtor.com.
Okay.
And on there, I have a sample letter that you can bring to your doctor and say, listen, can you do this? Can you send me, write out this letter for me, sign it.
Okay.
So, for example, if you have anxiety and your doctor's giving you Xanax, you can say that the doctor can say that, you know, listen, Joe needs to have Brandy as an emotional support animal.
Right.
And I'm giving him Xanax for this, but the dog's going to help.
Right.
They cannot ask you what the reason is
for the dog.
For the dog.
Okay.
The letter can just state that Keara needs Fifi as the dog for her emotional support
Fifi.
animal. And that letter is sufficient enough.
Okay.
So now there's a sneaky way around this. If you move in, I'm not saying you should do this, forget the house side of it. If you move into an apartment complex or a building and you move in and then you bring your animal in and they say, listen, you can't be here. You didn't tell us that you have an animal.
Right.
Then you can turn around and show them the letter and they can't evict you.
If you have that documentation.
If you have the letter that it's an
from the
emotional
doctor.
support animal, they can't evict you.
Okay.
Now, if you're in a house, that's something totally different because
Right.
there might be a child there, somebody might have an allergy. That's something you shouldn't do that.
Right.
But the best way is to be upfront with the place, show the letter, get your dog that letter.
Right.
You can go anywhere once you have that.
And if you're the buyer's agent, and if you're a buyer rather, and you're working with an agent, it's their job to make sure to confirm not only with the listing agent, but the board should be able to be in communication with you to say,
Also,
this is our policy and this
that's
is
right.
what's required.
Also, as an emotional support animal, in most places, they'll charge you $50 or $100 a month if you have a pet. For an emotional support animal, they're not allowed to charge you.
Okay.
So
Good to know.
that's a very important thing. I would say no matter what, get your animal trained. It's always good to have your animal trained anyway, if you can afford it. If you really are in desperate need, give me a call. Again, my telephone number is 631-236-9012. I can help you find a rental.
Right.
I'll show you what apartment complexes are pet friendly.
Right.
And if not, myself or somebody from my team will get you in.
Okay.
So it's a very important thing, but the website is set up. It's called thepetrealtor.com. I have everything on there. I have everything you need to know about having a pet. I have from the sample letters, different information.
So don't think that you can't get into a unit regardless, rental or a purchase. With having a pet.
Either way.
Okay.
All right.
Good to know.
All right. So now what I would like to discuss is we're dealing with a situation right now of a buyer who is having a problem getting his mortgage.
Right.
Because there's a CO issue on the house.
Explain what a CO is first.
So this was a legal 2-family house, but the house was so old that they didn't issue COs back then. And the bank that he's dealing with right now is requiring that, and it's almost impossible to get because it's Nassau County, and they're a bunch of schmoes.
Right. So before we go further, a
Yes.
CO is a certificate of occupancy.
Yes.
You need them if you convert your house legally from a 1-family to a 2-family. You need an updated CO. In Joe's case with his buyer, they did not have an updated CO for the making it a 2-family because the house is so old.
The house is so old.
And if you were to go to the town and the attorneys got involved, it would take years, maybe centuries.
That's what we're doing right now. So we actually had attorneys go down to Nassau County, try to get this CO, having a very difficult time. So I came up with an idea that was amazing. My idea was call Keara at RCG Mortgage because why?
At RCG, we can still close without the CO. And the reason for that is our lenders are not a big box bank. We work with wholesale lenders, and they do not require a CO, whether it be a legal 2-family conversion, an open, say you have a deck that you added on, or you have like a random shed that like you built on your property and you don't have a CO for, even like a fence, we don't require it. We can still close.
Which is amazing.
But the side note to that is if you move into that property, you can go to the town after you close and still get the CO. Your
That's right.
taxes may change. That's the only thing to note as a buyer.
Right.
As if you go to the town after your purchase, you moved in the house with your family, you're all excited, and you get the CO, your taxes may change. That's the only thing to note, but with us, you can still close.
Right. And that was my point to him. Get in the house.
Yeah.
And then later on, worry about it. You're not going to move in and then sell the house in a week.
Right.
You don't need it right now.
Right.
Get in the house. Switched from, I don't want to say whatever bank it was, to RCG.
Right.
And then we can close right away and get the deal done.
Exactly.
And that's very important that you do that.
Right.
Not too many companies do that, correct?
Correct. Yeah. A lot of the big box banks, they won't lend with open COs.
Right.
And then on the flip side of that, I want to talk about another shout out to RCG and all that we offer is because we work with so many different lenders, we have the ability to pivot, be flexible, and move around. So what does that mean for you as a buyer? If you come to us, you're purchasing a house, we place your loan, here's the loan, makeshift little loan.
Okay.
And we place it with a lender. I pick the lender, it goes to them. We get your process started. And if the interest rates were to change, this market is very volatile. We have the ability. You're not locked in, set in stone, and stuck. So say you're locked in at a 6% rate and the rates drop. We can take you out of that lender that we placed you with and put you with a new lender. So what does that mean? It means that we're transferring all of your documents and your paperwork to a new lender at zero cost to the buyer. We transfer your appraisal at no cost. We move everything over seamlessly, and then it saves you money. So one example of this is I had a client that market changed. She was at one interest rate. The rates improved, meaning it would save her money. So I took her out of that lender, put her with a new one, and saved her $300 a month. So quick math here, $300 a month. If she took that money and she took the $300 a month and invested that each month into a conservative mutual fund, whatever it may be, that had a return of 6% annually, let's call it, she would have $295,000 plus at the end of the 30 years. So let's reverse for a second. $300 savings times 360 months. That's what your 30-year loan is, 360 months. She would save upfront, she's saving $108,000. But
Jeez.
We don't stop there. We take that money.
There's more?
Because we're advising her as her financial consultants. We're not financial advisors, but it's our job to help them. She could take that money at $300 a month, invest it, like I said, in a conservative fund, 6% annually, say she's making on that fund. She can walk away with converting that $108,000 to $295,000 plus.
Unbelievable.
Exactly. So that's why you want to be working with a broker, and especially in a volatile market, because we have a lot of flexibility.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching another episode of Real Talk with Joe and Keara. We will be back in 2 more weeks with more new, exciting news. Don't forget to like, comment, share. We are on TikTok, YouTube, help me out, Instagram, Spotify.
And don't forget that stop renting and paying someone else's mortgage when you can have your own mortgage. So buy a house.
Buy a house.
And get a mortgage with RCG.
That's it. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You've been watching Real Talk, the latest news in real estate with Joe and Keara. If you'd like to submit a topic for discussion or have any other questions, leave a comment below. We'll talk to you next time.